7 to 3 school, 4 to 8 coaching, and by the time you come home, freshen up and sit for dinner, it's already 8:45 and you have only a few hours until midnight hits. How on earth is one supposed to fit self-study into this? How do you get top scores when your entire day is swallowed up by classes? If you are a student trying to balance school and coaching, you have probably realized that the generic, aesthetic 8-hour study routine that you see online does not work for your life because you don't have 8 hours. So in today's video, I am sharing a realistic daily schedule that you can follow without feeling burnt out and a 12-hour weekend reset routine. So let's get started, shall we? Just like the previous video, which was the 8-month strategy blueprint that I will include the link here, this video will also be having slides that I will be putting up somewhere here. So first, let's look at the math because numbers don't lie. Between 8 hours of school, 4 hours of coaching and transit time in between, you are losing approximately 13 hours of your day to external commitments. If I assume that you come home, freshen up and have your dinner by 8:45 p.m., that leaves a very specific window. And if you don't have a hyper-structured plan, you will either end up doom scrolling or blankly staring at your textbook. So to make this work, you have to choose a strategy that matches your biological clock. And now it is time for a critical choice. The time to choose your identity. The biggest mistake you can make right now is to force yourself into someone else's schedule, something that is not made for you. So this video is divided into two parts. One is called track 1 and track 2. Track 1 are called the night owls. Night owls are those people who can stay up till 2 p.m., 1 p.m. and can study efficiently but can never wake up at 4 a.m. even if you force them to. Track 2 are those people who cannot stay past 10 p.m. but can wake up easily at any given time in the morning. That is called early birds. The first, I'll be covering track 1, that is for the night owls, and I am assuming that you're done with your dinner by 8:30 so that you can sit for studying by 8:45. So 8:45 to 9:45 is your coaching revision slot. This is where you revise everything that you have been taught in your coaching classes for the past 4 hours that you attended on that particular day. And if you have extra time left, do revise the previous days or the previous topics that you can. Second slot is from 9:15 to 10:50, which is the core subject slot. That will be helpful for your boards like chemistry, math or anything like that. Understand the concepts, solve the subjective questions because all your competitive exams are objective based, MCQ based. You do mental tricks, shortcuts and come to the final answer to solve it in a limited amount of time. But that is not what board asks. Board asks for long stepwise answer because there are stepwise marks. 10:55 to 11:55 is your question solving. It can either be your coaching questions or DPPs or whatever you have, or it can be a school worksheet or test, whatever it is, question solving period. There is 1 hour question solving period. You can divide them into half an hour for 2 subjects or use the entire 1 hour for 1 subject, whichever suits you best. And the fourth slot is from 12 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. Here you might be drained by studying so much, so that is why I have kept your homework slot here. So whatever homeworks and assignments, suppose making a project, writing your record work, whatever it is, do it in this half an hour period because you don't have to apply a lot of your brain power into this. I am not extending past 12:30 a.m. because if your school starts at 7 a.m. you have to wake up around 6. And 5.5 hours is not enough of sleep for a person. So I'm closing it at 12:30 a.m. Coming to track 2, the early bird. So your after school schedule looks like this. You come home, again assuming the same thing, you're done with your dinner by 8:30 and you're sitting for studying by 8:45. 8:45 to 9:45, same thing, coaching revision. You have to revise whatever has been taught at that particular day. If you have extra time left, revise the previous topics. Slot 2, 9:45 to 10:15, half an hour only. This is your homework sprint because I want you people to sleep by 10:30. So finish your homework on the same night. Don't keep it for the next day. Finish it the same night, because you'll be tired by traveling, studying and all of that. So just revise whatever is done in the coaching class, do your homework, done for the day. Go to sleep by 10:30. You're not staying past 10:30. What you're going to do is wake up at 4 a.m. 4:10 to 5:10 is where you do a core subject. You can either pick up something related to your coaching, like a subject related to your coaching, or take up something from school. As I said, for track 1 people, do subjective solving, subjective learning, because you'll have to write answers for boards. So this core subject is for making your concepts strong, learning new concepts, all those type of stuff. You have 1 hour. Next, 5:15 to 6:15 a.m. question solving. It can be either your coaching questions, DPPs, or it can be your school questions, like long form questions, anything, whatever suits you best. So these are just time slots that I'm giving you. You plan what you do when. If you have seen the track 1 and track 2 schedule, you might have realized that you get only 5.5 hours of sleep, which is not enough. Teens of our age, we are expected to sleep for minimum 6 hours. So 5.5 hours is not reaching that mark scientifically. So I have 2 points for you. One is, whenever you're traveling to your school or coaching, try grabbing some sleep during your transit, during your transportation time. Try grabbing some sleep. Even that 20-30 minutes extra will make your brain feel fresher. Secondly, finish most of your homework in your school free periods, lunch breaks. If they are little bits of homework, 1 question, 2 questions, finish it then and there. Don't wait to come home and do it, so that the 30 minutes that I've kept for your homework solving, you can use that for extra sleep. For track 1 people, it is from 12 to 12:30, right? So if you finish your homework, you can sleep by 12. Same for track 2 people, 9:45 you can go to bed. So you'll get that extra 30 minutes of sleep. So try finishing most of the problems in school itself. Next, talking about the weekend reset period. This is broken down into 2 parts. First part is your working Saturdays, and your second part are your non-working Saturdays. So on working Saturdays, Saturday is your weekend reset period, and on non-working Saturdays, Friday is your weekend reset period. So what do I mean by this weekend reset period that I'm mentioning again and again? You come home from school, from coaching, freshen up, eat food, drop your bags, and just go to sleep. No studying, no screen time, nothing, just go to sleep. This is important because the entire week your brain must have processed so much of information, and at one point it is bound to burn out. So you're supposed to take care of your mental health and physical health as well. That is why the sleep is very important. Do not feel guilty about not studying for that one day. It's fine. Just go to sleep without feeling guilty, because the next weekend schedule is going to be a 12-hour schedule that I'm going to be sharing. So for that, your brain needs to be prepared. Coming to the 12-hour study routine for your weekends, I have put it as 12-hour Sunday because most Saturdays are working. So you can use this schedule for your Saturdays which are off as well. So let's start the 12-hour study routine that will not make you feel burnt out, and at the same time you can cover a lot of study. For early birds, you wake up at 5 in the morning and start your first study slot from 5:30 to 7:30. This is where you take a core subject and you revise any subject you want, whichever your concept is not strong in, or your weak topics. Whatever, it is up to you. Again, all I'm giving is the time slot that you can follow. What you do with these time slots is entirely up to you. So the first is from 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning. These are only for the early birds. Now coming to the common schedule, that is from 8 a.m. This is both for track 1 and track 2 people. So from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. again another core subject. Then you take a break from 10 to 10:30, a breakfast break. Then from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. question solving. 2 hours question solving, any subject, whatever questions, up to you, only question solving, because after breakfast you won't feel like taking in a lot of information. So just solve the questions for the concepts that you have learned before. Then 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. break. You can have your lunch at this point. 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. whichever tests. I think you guys have Sunday tests for coaching, I am not sure. So whatever upcoming tests you have, this time is for studying for that. You can study the concepts during the core subjects and revise them here, or you can take mock tests or review your previous tests, anything, but this is for test studying. Whichever exam/test you have, study for that in this period. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is your sacred nap time. Okay, you have studied a lot from morning, so shut your brain off. As I said, sleep is the most important thing that you can give your brain to reset. So 3 to 5, don't think about anything. It will be afternoon, it will be sunny, so just sleep. Okay, then from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. another core subject. This is core subject 3 for track 2 people and core subject 2 for track 1 people. Then from 7:30 to 9 p.m. question solving again. Whatever you studied in core subject 2 for track 1, like you understand, right? From 5 to 7 p.m. whatever you've studied, do the question solving for that. Then this is where the night ends for track 2 people. After question solving, pack your bags, sleep. 9 p.m. you're off to bed. That's so nice, right? You wake up at 5 in the morning, you get a nap in the afternoon, and 9 p.m. you're off to sleep. But for night owl people, since you wake up a little late in the morning, you have another study session. Remember how there was a bonus study session in the morning for early birds people? You have them now from 9:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. I was just editing and it came to my realization that what I shared was just a 11-hour study strategy. What you can do is add an extra hour during your bonus times in the morning and night, and in the entirety it will be a 12-hour study schedule that you can use during your exams. But if you take it separately, it will be a 10-hour study schedule, which is a pretty good goal to hit as well. I'm sorry I didn't mention this in the video, so let's get back to it. You make a schedule without feeling burnt out. Hope that this was helpful for both the early birds and the night owl people. Now that we are done with the daily schedule, both for weekdays and weekends, I want to give you 3 sustainability pointers that will help you not feel burnt out throughout the week. First is hydration. 2 to 3 liters of water every day is a must. Be it winter, be it summer, even if you're not thirsty, keep sipping water as you study. Second pointer is stretch. I know you have a lot to study, so much of syllabus to complete, but keep at least 10 to 20 minutes aside every day to just stretch your body. Nothing major. I'm not telling you to lift dumbbells and barbells and all of that. Just stretch your body so that you physically feel good as well. Third is sleep. I am saying this again and again and again because if you lose sleep, you will not be able to study. So there is no point of studying for 16 hours a day if you do not give your mind proper rest. Before I move ahead with the outro of the video, I have designed 2 templates just for you guys. You can either print it out or use it digitally. One is very cutesy, I really love it, and the other one is with a plain white background that you can take a printout of and make a daily schedule. So do check them out in the description below. Look, mastering the schedule is only half the battle. A perfect routine is useless if you don't know what to put under these study blocks. Each of you have 6 to 7 subjects to complete. How do you know which one to prioritize, which one to give more attention to, so that you can secure a perfect score in all of these subjects? This is exactly what I will be breaking down in my next video, that is how to manage all the 6 subjects weekly. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment down below if you like this video. And let's get to work. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.